All right, we're going to get started, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that the big championship football game is on tonight and just getting started. Kickoff is just happening. So thank you so much. We'll definitely keep this to a half hour. And I know we're eager to watch the game for sure. And so that'll be fun. But we did want to come on, and we just had such an exceptional time at the Pajama Regional. It was just so, so good. And so I know there's some people that were able to be on tonight that we're going to share some takeaways, and then some people that couldn't be on that are going to send some Boxer messages and still share with us. We did it a little bit different here in Dayton. Friday night, rather than the big opening, the leaders just met, and we just really spent time just getting ready for the event. And we were planning to listen to the speaker, but that didn't work out for us. We just had a lot to go over, a lot to cover, had some errands to run, just really had a lot to do. So, but it was a really good night for us as well. And then we woke up in the morning and just got everything ready to go. Everybody arrived at around 8:30. And we kicked off the morning with doing the Catherine Lee exercise about, your unique design. And I was leading that, and I felt like it was just a really powerful way to establish the new year and, really getting in touch with our own, unique calling and, who we are, what we're about, what we want to see happen. And so that was wonderful. I've heard a lot of great feedback about that. So if you haven't done the exercise that Catherine Lee has, it is on the Team Integrity Facebook page. And so you can go there and print it off. Really strongly would suggest that. After that, we kind of broke and took a little break, and then we came back for the first speaker. We did a block of speakers, and they were pretty much from 10 to noon. And I'll just share with you who our speakers were. We started with John Blair, former senior vice president from corporate. And he did a great job talking about 2020 vision. Jennifer Myers, 100 Club National Marketing Director, she talked about the Freedom Revolution and having a system that works and all the, the different systems that we're using now. Alexis Busselman, 12 Club NMD, talked about in-home events. Beth Leopold, 100 Club NMD, talked about three-way connections. And then we heard from Ali Schneider, 50 Club NMD, who talked about the really big events, the big rocks in our business. So we are going to just kind of open it up and spend some time talking about the day. So I am going to kind of wrap up at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for you guys to share. I think we have Patty, Renee, Ann, and Brian, who were there and are going to be sharing with us. So who would like to get us started?
I can share.
Okay, thanks, Ann.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was really good regional. It really helped me a lot to be there. I was really glad that I went. But the thing that really stood out to me, it started off with John Blair. I thought that was really good how he set the precedence for the whole company and shared how Jay Martin, they were at a really low point in the company a long time ago, a while in the beginning, and they were just really low point. And Jay said, they're all trying to figure things out. And he says, I just want to build a company, a stable and lasting company that enables as many people as possible to realize their dreams. And he said that. Well, then they loved what he said. They just thought, wow, that's it. They made that the mission statement. And then they told him they have their mission statement already, and he didn't even know. He said it so much from his heart that he didn't even realize the impact of what he actually said. So that just showed the authenticity of the company and the genuineness. And so I loved hearing John Blair just talk about the history of the company and how they do everything. But also another thing that really hit me was Mike Ewald, when he got up and spoke. It was really heartfelt also, and from his heart about his friend Bubba And I won't go into detail about that, but what he did say was this friend really impacted him on his bike journey to the South, and that he was doing for Juice Plus. He was going around touring, and he said, when you get to Georgia, I think it was Georgia, make sure that you stay on the bike. And he didn't really understand why he was supposed to stay on the bike in that particular point. But when he got to Georgia, it was so hot and so difficult that then it clicked. Now I know why I'm supposed to stay on the bike, but he said the clouds parted and he saw a subway and he said, I got to take this opportunity. And he got off the bike. And that's when he ended up landing there for an hour and a half. And he realized the importance of staying on the bike. And that's something that really resonates with me, because that's a problem that I have, is staying on the bike. So that made an impact with me. And then they talked about the three-way calls and how important that is. And that's another thing that I need to work on too, is just allowing your sponsor to validate whatever is, you want to share with your people that you're inviting. And then I also really liked the lady that, I don't remember people's names, but she talked about doing big events just to network, and not necessarily to talk about Juice Plus, but just to network. And she talked about how she does these events called Popsicles in the Park, Bugs in the Belly, Pilates in the Park, just really creative, interesting things just to get people to come and to get to know them. And she said that she goes to different stores, and if she tells them what they're doing, that she wants to reach out to the community, she wants to help build community and reach out and share health with different people. Just she wants to build this in the community. And I don't know exactly the verbiage that she used, but she did say that they donated the food for her. She said it's pretty easy to actually do. So I was impressed with those things. That's what got me, and just got me thinking, and got me more motivated again.
Yeah, good,
So,
good. Well, that's why we do it, especially coming out of the new year. I think some of us are just, just a little slow getting out of the gate. There's, a lot going on. And so to have this Pajama Regional right at the beginning, I think we need to talk about it probably sooner, before the holidays, and, so more people are geared up for it. But yeah, I loved that community outreach too. I felt that was Allie Schneider. And she did a lot of children's events, and I just love that they were starting with the children, and raising up this healthy living revolution focus of children. And yeah, she said, I think some of the verbiage is, she'd go into the grocery store and just say, I'm a part of a healthy living revolution movement, and we're trying to bring awareness to better health and what that looks like. And so she was just really good about, she'd meet a yoga instructor and try to pull the yoga instructor in, and they wouldn't talk about Juice Plus. They, really would bring up the healthy living revolution and share that link. But, the focus really was to, be sure the message is out there. We're not going to be selling a product, but the healthy living revolution link went out, and then it would be just really building relationship and getting to know people, and adding people to the funnel. The whole focus was this funnel of people that we know and that we can reach out to, and later share the product. So yeah, it was so good. I love that. Okay, thanks so much, Anne, for sharing. I appreciate that. Who else would like?
I can share. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thanks, Renee.
Okay. I was messing with stuff, and then Ann came on. Okay, so I actually learned a lot. I guess I didn't realize the whole background of the Juice Plus company. I feel like John Blair went way back to the beginning. So I never knew a few things about that. I remember Jay Martin talking about it at a few of the conventions early on I went to, maybe my first one at Indianapolis. But that was knowledgeable for me big time. I wrote like little, by everyone's name, I wrote like little things about them so I could put the name to the face. Like Beth Leopold has every color of Old Navy flip-flops. That way I remembered who she was. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I was amazed about her story and that she didn't do very many events and that she had all these calls that she was able to sell on. So that one, I was taken in heavily on that because I have events sometimes and I kind of pull off of the calls. So I was kind of listening to how she was saying that she would have these calls that they would help paint a vision with her sponsor.
Yeah.
So I was kind of amazed at that, and I was kind of listening to that. Also, yeah, Allie Snyder did a great job with her bigger events. I paid attention to that too. And that wasn't really around, that was just networking, wasn't even around really the Juice Plus. It was just basically networking with people, just getting to know people. And then I also listened to Alexis's stories about some of her events because, well, I did hear about salad in a jar, but I never thought about doing another meal prep, some other type of meal prep where everyone brings an item to the event. So I was kind of listening to that. That was kind of interesting because we're getting ready to have another event here. So I was taking that in. Just got a couple.
Right. Can I jump in for a sec?
Sure.
Katie was really curious about what she had to say. Do you have any more details? That is not someone that I think I must have been getting some lunch or something ready and cleaning up breakfast.
On who?
On the one you just talked about, Bustleman.
Alexis,
yeah.
She just really talked about all the events, inviting to the events, doing meal preps, the Facebook event page. And then she said to make sure to, if you place out an event on Facebook, to make sure and go in private messenger everyone individually. And then she said sometimes that will open up for a conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me see here. The event, short presentation, business story. She basically just went through the events herself. Like if she had an event, what she started with, a short presentation. Then she said to make sure that all events that you always tell at the end, she said that she started her events with the story. And I actually don't normally do that until a little bit later. But then she said to do the short presentation, keep it short because she said you'll lose their attention. And then she also said at the end that she always went in for the business story and asking for the sale. So she said not to make sure that you don't. I kind of steer back from that. Sharon and I were kind of talking about that today at lunch, that I'm not maybe direct enough with people. So, I've always said in the past, the closing kills me.
Yeah.
She was actually went into that kind of talking about how to ask for the sale.
Yeah.
So I kind of took notes on that.
Good.
Recommended if you have
I think we could say, if you're anything like me and I heard this message, I could not wait to get started. So I'm thinking you guys probably are ready to get started, and just assume that they are and let them tell you, maybe they're going to wait or whatever. But yeah, just assume that they are because they've just heard such a powerful message, right?
Right. And she said to make sure that just to pass out the order forms to everyone. Right. So basically, be direct about it.
Right.
Which I really pull back from that a little bit because I don't know, I'm not as aggressive as I need to be a little bit in that area.
And so, I don't think you need to look at it negative, like aggressive, like it's bad, but I would just, come from a place of just how excited you are that they're going to get this in their body and they're going to get started and just, just assume that that's what they want. I because it's a gift. So yeah. She was good.
I think,
remember.
Yeah, I don't think I took notes on how she asked for the sale because I think I was so busy listening to that.
Yeah.
On what she was saying to say and do.
Okay. That was helpful. So she would start the presentation with
her story.
Her story. Okay, and then move into a short presentation. And then
And then a business story. So kind of like going out a little bit to ask for partners.
Yeah.
If anyone would want to be a partner. And then she said that she would ask for the sale, which was basically passing out the order sheets and kind of talking to everyone.
Okay. Good. Katie, did you have any questions about that?
No. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. No, but I did find on the Pajama Regional Facebook page that she put her verbiage about what she does when she passes out the order forms at an event.
Okay.
And she said she just directs everybody to like the third line down the quad, and she says, this is what I take. She said, I don't even mention any of the other options unless they ask.
Oh, I love it.
And you know what, Katie, you're right. She did say that.
Yeah.
And so I'll have to go in on that Facebook page. Thank you for reminding me about that. You're right. She did go right into that.
Yeah, I was just curious of what type of events that she brought up, if there was anything new or different. So sounds like meal prep and things like that, maybe.
So Katie, I've got a couple notes here. I'll just add on to what Renee is sharing there. She also said she creates a Facebook event page for every event that they do. And then that the invitation is the critical piece. And we all know that, but their process is that they will invite people to the Facebook event page. And then they follow up. They do an invitation process of, if I do this, will you do that? If I send you the link to the Facebook event page, will you go see it? And then they follow up with a private message with the link to the event. So they always create a Facebook page, event page, and then they always private message, and they include the link to that Facebook event as part of the private message. And that, she said, increased their ability to get people to come.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's really good. Renee, did you have anything else?
I don't think so, because you kind of touched on everything about Allie Snyder's bigger events that she had, and I kind of wrote notes down. Brian, that was well said by how she did exactly state that, because that's exactly what she said. And then Beth Leopold, I was just listening to how she was handling all those calls. So I was pretty amazed that she got to where she got in the company without holding a lot of events, because I really, like I said, I really hold back from those calls. So I'm going not to moving forward, not to do that anymore.
Yeah, I would love to do a lot more of those. So did you have anything specifically? I don't have verbiage written out, but.
No, I don't either.
I think she was going to post some of the verbiage, but like the sponsor would just be asking a lot of the questions. If you're getting on with the sponsor, then the sponsor is just saying, tell us what you love about Juice Plus. Have you ever thought about, having something for yourself that gives passion and purpose? So I love the idea of doing these, especially with like raving fan customers or even prospects, that are just looking for something. And so
she said she actually went through everyone's customer list with them.
Okay.
So everyone was calling and doing three-way calls. That was the challenge, was to do a three-way call with every one of your customers. And that she had great growth from that. And you're right, Renee. She did. She actually said that she'd only done 2 events in her own home in 13 years, and that the Pajama Regional was the second. So she built her entire business just on three-way calls.
Yeah.
Which is the simplest, easiest event you can possibly do. That should be a challenge for all of us, is how many three-way calls can we do?
Well, it paints such vision. It helps people see way beyond where they are to what's possible. And she just fills up her calendar that way, just time blocking, just Like if you want to try it, if it looks like Thursday afternoon is good for you and you just want to say, hey, Wendy, let's do from 2 to 3:30. I'm going to see what I can do to fill that block. And then we get on with your customers and anyone you would like to, connect us together. And we would just fill that block. I would just go ahead and schedule that out. And, we could get on Boxer together and talk a little bit about who we're going to be talking to, because it's helpful to know a little bit more information about people. But yeah, I definitely want to do more. I couldn't believe that that's how she did her entire business. And I know we're not doing enough of that. So I think we try to do the business, the online events. But yeah, I think we're missing out on a lot of the three-way calls. So, okay.
So I was not really prepared to talk, but she also, that one lady said that she never mentions the part of the company where all the giving is, and that she only does those two things, and that she thinks in the future she's going to start adding that when she talks to people.
Like the philanthropy about the
Yes.
company. Okay.
Yes. And the lady that does the three-way calls, like Brian said, she's only ever done one event except for what she did Saturday.
Isn't that amazing?
I know, and I didn't realize that really the three-way calls are her sponsor, or whatever you would be called, I'm not sure what the word is, and the customer she's interested in. Those are the three people, right?
Yep, it is.
And the other thing about the events, which I never caught before, was whoever was speaking said that she always does a personal message. I'm going to send you an invitation to an event. And it's, and I never realized that it's good to give somebody a heads up that you're sending them a text.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
But the best thing to me was John Blair. I just was amazed at the background of this company and how he, with all of his knowledge, was able to put all that stuff into capsules by what he did, and the way he worked with Jay Martin. And I just thought it was fascinating that he got all that from a book called Built to Last. And I thought that was very interesting, never having heard that before.
Yes, fascinating, isn't it? I remember he was saying, Smokey Santillo is the one that was came up with the idea of the, getting juice in the body in a simple way, because his dad had cancer. And I don't think he talked about that, did he? I don't remember him talking about that part of it. So, but, Smokey brought to them the juice, and they were all trying like the fruits and the vegetables and stirring it up. And Jay said, "Oh, it looks like mud." He was talking about the veggies. And he said, "It looks like mud." And then they tasted it. And he said, "You know what? I think it would be so much better if we add mud. I think it would taste a lot better." It's just so funny. And it's true. I mean, what a bad taste. But then they decided, okay, let's try putting it in powder. Let's try dehydrating it. And, so that nobody has to taste it, but it's getting in the body. So yeah, one thing led to another. And Brian, I know you had some on John Blair. Did you want to share more about him?
Sure, I can touch on that a little bit. I think that I agree that, learning the history, and every company, goes through valleys and comes back up. But that's one thing this company's done extremely well. But I think to encapsulate his main point, it's just the importance of longevity and how rock solid our company is. And, when you're talking to people, to be able to say to them that, your biggest investment that you have to give is your time. And for you to be able to invest your time in this company, you can be secure in knowing that it's going to be around 5, 50, 75 years from now, that this is a generational business. And I was going to say something at the regional, but the timing never worked out. But all we have to do is reflect back and think about all the other direct selling companies that have been in the wellness industry that aren't around anymore. They peak for 5 or 7 or 10 years, and then they're gone. And we're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. I mean, that's unheard of. with that. So, you know, for me, just being with a business background, to know how rock solid we are, and to know that all the time that we're spending today comes back to us in multiples, you know, down the down the line there. So that's an important thing.
Anything else?
That's what I'm sorry, I was distracted. Jason just sent me a text and it said, "Did you see that play?"
Uh-oh.
Hey, I have one more question for you guys.
Yeah.
Because I have a question here that John Blair had said, but I never remember him saying the answer. So maybe you guys will know this. He said, how do we change the mindset of pill pushers? I never did hear the answer of that. I mean, I'm sure he probably said it, but I didn't write it. Because basically people owning their disease, you know, they're just in that mindset thinking.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Did Brian catch that?
No, I didn't.
Mm-mm. I didn't either.
I just wondered.
I didn't
but
either.
Maybe they'll have that on the, you know, the Facebook PJ Regionals. Maybe they'll have something about that.
Let's definitely stay connected to that Facebook page, because I know, you know, different people will post, you know, what they did and really try to help us out with sharing more. But John Blair is a part of the Physicians for Responsible Medicine. And if you ever get a chance, look up that website. Just really want to encourage you to. He's on the board, and like they'll talk about dairy. You know, these are physicians that really understand that dairy is harmful to the body, and so you can find articles there about dairy that are, you know, really backed by, you know, amazing physicians. So yeah, so check out that board. And he said on that board, other people in other businesses that maybe they represent another product, they look to John and our structure, our compensation plan, what we're doing it, how we're doing it, as like the leading company that is so solid, and other companies want to be like us. So you just feel so privileged to be with the company that is working. It is about longevity. It is about a solid foundation. So solid product. Yeah.
One more comment.
Physicians for Responsible what?
Physicians for Responsible Medicine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. What, Brian?
I just had one other comment, in that I really appreciated everything Jennifer Myers talked about as far as the Freedom Revolution website. And, you know, I would like to challenge everybody that we spend time on that website, you know, in the evening, just pull it up, and you need to work your way through that entire website so that you learn it and so that you know it, and that you've watched the videos, the compensation videos, all of that. And then challenge all of your reps or other people or even your customers to check it out, because I was just overwhelmed with how well done that website is now. You know, we used to have to go to different places to get all this, and it's all one place, totally professional. All that's together for us. And, you know, one of my goals is I want to spend my evenings just becoming saturated with my knowledge of that website.
Yeah.
Number one, it's going to feed my head, make me more confident when I share. But number two, then I can take people there and just, you know, walk them through. And I think that would be really easy thing for all of us to do, that would have multiple, it would help us in multiple ways.
Right. I agree. Let's really kind of lock arms in doing that ourselves, and then we'll encourage anybody who's walking or watching to also do that. I feel like it's gonna, and that's coming from our virtual office too. One of the tabs is the Freedom Revolution. So really it's all in one place that we can get to that. And also, you know, she talked about, you know, what the Freedom Revolution is. It's about customer acquisition, customer onboarding, distributor acquisition, and distributor onboarding. And that's really what we do. And so they had the quick start and then the success guide. So a really quick way to get everybody set up for success right out of the gates, but then also a little bit more advanced success guide for those who are either ready right out of the gates to jump right in and go deeper, or after they reach that Partner Plus or so, then you're going to start to introduce them to some other things. So I'm very excited about that Freedom Revolution. So So they have done a great job setting us up for success while we're waiting for the really big website coming. So I'm grateful that we have this. And yeah. Anything else that anybody else has? I know we're running over a little bit here.
I just want to share that another thing that I thought that they did really well was simplify, which it sounds simple, but it's a little, it's hard, but it's Wendy McGlone talked about, we just have to get 7 a month for 4 months and 3 distributors. And what inspired me with what she said is when she started, she got on and she didn't stop until she kept calling and talking to people until she got the numbers that she wanted. And I thought that was, I just liked her tenacity.
Yeah. I'll show you guys that really quickly here. Thank you, Anne, for bringing that up. So she was talking about, we want to get 7 customers ourselves, plus then the first month, or starting up a new rep, you want them to get 7 customers and then start up a new rep. Already that person is going to be going to qualified sales coordinator in a month. So if you do that, and then the second month, 7 more customers, but then you're bringing on the same rep as here, but you're bringing on another rep. So it's 7 plus another rep. And then now you're going to be reaching now you've got a qualified business. And then the next month you're bringing on another rep. So you got 3 reps now, 7 customers again, because the more customers we have, the more likely we're going to have a rep. And now you're at the sales coordinator position. Okay, and then here you're going to be having a POB business. So it's really looking at bringing 7 customers on and a partner every month. We talk about the 5-1, but if you can do the 7-1, you're obviously going to get a whole lot more volume and be able to get there more quickly. And then she went on to share, kind of the first month, you're going to move through Partner Plus straight to Qualified Sales Coordinator, which is BF now. These are going to be your rewards. So a total of $350 in the first month. Then you're going to have a qualified business. You're going to move to the sales coordinator in 3 months, receive that $600, plus your sponsor is going to also be earning some sponsor bonus. Okay, so there's the total there. The next month, you're self-qualified plus POB qualified, and it's your first month of qualifying for senior sales coordinator. That qualified senior sales coordinator position, you got to hold that for 2 months. So after 5 months, you're there to the qualified sales coordinator position, and this is what you've made along the way. So it's very exciting. Just to give you a little bit more vision of what's possible. The company is still rewarding, the 5-1 too. So I just wanted to show you that really quickly. This is for VFs, which are now qualified sales coordinators and above. If you get the 5 customers and 1 new rep, the company will give you $100. If you do it that second month consecutively, you'll then get $200. So we have January still and February. So that's another great goal to have if that's where you are in the business. So I wanted to kind of end with that. Thank you for bringing that up, Anne. Appreciate that. Okay, you guys, we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much for sharing, and we'll look forward to hearing from some of the other people too that weren't able to be on tonight, okay?
All right.
All right. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Thank
Good
you.
night, guys.
Hey.
Bye.